Hey garden friends, happy Thursday. We are coming to you live from the gardens under the pavilion because it's raining and it's been raining all day, but the show must go on. So today we have 3 of our top selling plants, our top selling shrub, our top selling perennial, and our top selling annual, and we are giving them away. So pay attention for that. If you've never commented before on a Facebook Live and you need to brush up your strategy a little bit, go ahead and practice now. Leave a comment and tell me your top favorite plant that you've planted so far this season. Okay, you're going to want to practice this because in order to win free plants, you're going to have to leave a comment. Okay, but that's later, so practice now. Tell me your top favorite plant that you've planted so far this season. All right, I'm gonna watch comments. Hello, Charlene. Thank you so much for joining. Tell me what your favorite plant is so far this season that you've planted. We are going to be talking about our top selling, which means that they are your guys' top favorites at home. All of them. Grit and Grace Gardening. She said all of them. I love that. I agree. Everything's my favorite too. All right, guys, you got to practice with your comments now, okay? Because in order to win free plants in a little bit, you're going to have to leave a comment. So I want you to get your practice in so you know what you're doing. Mom, this is for you if you're watching. My mom tells me every week, I tried to comment, but I couldn't figure out it took me too long to get there. So we'll let you guys practice a little bit. I want you to win free plants. Cat's Pajamas, Amy, good one. Really good one. That's a favorite of mine too. This is my second year. I planted 3 of them 2 years ago. And one of the 3 is still a little bit itty bitty, little baby. It's taken a while to catch up, but the other 2 are doing beautiful. Hi, Mom. Thank you so much for watching. Super Tunia Vista Bubblegum from Anna. I agree, man. We've got that one right up front here. That is a top seller, has been year after year after year. There's nothing better than that queen right there. She is the queen of the garden. Dan Foster, Purple Heliotrope. Is that the new one, Dan? Dan's talking about a new variety. It's got this awesome, really deep green foliage and these huge, like this bigger than my fist size blooms that just cover the tops. Really deep purple, beautiful, and it's a deer-resistant annual. So friends that have issues with deer, the Aeromagical Purple Heliotrope is beautiful. Good choice, Dan. Charlene loves salvia. Me too. They are pollinator magnets, and they're so hardy, man. You don't have to do anything to them. Actually, funny story about salvia. You know, if you have an older home and an older driveway and you got those cracks and the weeds like to grow up through the cracks, and then you have to pay your kids to go out and pull the weeds in the cracks because it's a terrible job. I have salvia growing up a crack in my driveway. That's how strong these guys are, man. Love it. Kelly Snyder says, I love all hydrangeas, but right now the Incredible is your favorite. Oh, Kelly, you might be able to win one today. Ah! Let's Dance Lovable. Amy said her Incredible is huge this year. I love that. Oh, So Easy Italian Ice. Katie, I love that one too. The colors are magnificent. You guys got some good choices. And I love that some of your top favorites right now are some of our top sellers. Makes perfect sense. All right, so I'm going to give that a little break, but let me know. Stop me at any time if I need to take some questions or anything. So we picked our top 3 plants, top 3 selling plants. I wanted to tell you a little bit about them today, and we're going to give some away. So in order to do a giveaway and for it to be legal, I have to give you a little bit of the rundown of the legalities and technicalities and all the mumbo jumbo stuff. Anyone that is on the live from start to finish has an opportunity to win. The way that we're going to do this to make it fair is when I ask a question, when I'm like, okay, it's time for a giveaway, and I ask you a question, the first comment that I see in the chat is going to be the winner. It's the only way to make it truly fair. And again, open to anyone, and it's only during the live. We are not, this is not attributed to Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or anything like that. This is strictly Proven Winners Direct giveaway. Doesn't cost you anything. You just have to participate and comment to win when it's time. So before we get into these pretty plants though, I have a question. We've been going back and forth with the best time to do these lives. We're kind of dialed into Thursdays. It just works out best for everyone's schedules. But what time of day works better for you guys? Is 3:30 good? Is 3:30 working? Does grabbing a cup of joe and having a garden stroll at 9 a.m. sound better? Middle of the day during lunch if you're at work? What do you guys think? Tell me what the best time of day for you would be for our weekly lives. The goal obviously is to get as many people of you watching and engaging. I love being able to talk with our viewers. It's so fun. It's so much more fun than standing in front of a camera and you guys watching a video. I like talking with you. I like learning about you. I like hearing what you're planting and what your favorites are and your struggles. We're all having struggles. I planted like 8 Suncredibles in my backyard, all the same time, same area, same everything, and one of them is giving me a time. Plants, right? Okay, so what time of day? All right, so I see you guys are liking 3:30. Good. 1 for a morning. Morning would be fun, peaceful, stroll through the garden, except when it's raining. We're making do. 3:30. Okay. So it sounds like we're doing okay with times. Anyone else want to chime in? Remember, you're practicing to win free plants with these comments. That's how you're going to win these free plants. Anyone else have a new suggestion for a time?
Got a couple from Instagram. One says 2 p.m., one says 4 p.m., one says 10 a.m., another 2, and a 3:30.
Okay, so lots of options. How do you guys feel about 10? How do you feel about 2? How do you feel about 4? Anyone have anything? All right. Mostly Facebook and YouTube is saying 3:30. So you go ahead. Feel free to keep commenting if you have a different time. Our plan will obviously be to review all the comments, pick the time that's best for everybody. If 3:30 is working, we'll stick to 3:30. Works for us too. All right, let's talk about some pretty plants. So, as I mentioned before, these are our top selling shrub, our top selling perennial, and our top selling annual. I would like to say that this changes, but over the last 3 years, these 3 plants have been our top selling. We have the sweet Supertunia Vista bubblegum, that beautiful bubblegum pink color, super vigorous grower, super vigorous grower. If you are looking for the best bang for your buck, a plant that's going to take up as much space as possible, provide endless color from planting until frost, Supertunia Vista bubblegum is your go-to girl. Not only does she have that amazing color, she's also known for her great garden performance. So I mentioned in our last live, you can go back and watch our lives, by the way. If you missed them, they still post on our Facebook page and on our YouTube. So you can go back and watch previous weeks. But last week I talked a little bit about our trials and our testing and how not every plant can be a Proven Winners plant. Only the top 3% of all plants that are tested and trialed, all plants, all genetics, all brands, only the top 3% become a Proven Winners. And when they're in those trials across the country, we make sure you can grow them in Florida the same way you can grow them in Michigan. Across the country, when they're in those trials and they're being tested, whoever's conducting them, like universities, public gardens, those people go through and they give them awards. Bubblegum has won nearly 400 awards. Almost 400, 394. That's a lot, okay? And it's because she is a standout in the garden. It does not stop giving you those amazing blooms ever. From planting until frost, it can grow up to 3 feet, whether you have it in a container and it's spilling over, or it's in the landscape filling up the space. 3 feet of that gorgeous pink color. You don't have to deadhead our supertunias. That is my favorite part, because anything that requires a little bit more work out of me, I'm going to turn my back to it. Okay, we get busy. We're busy gardeners. You don't have to deadhead these guys. They keep pushing out those magnificent blooms. And the great thing is they don't go to seed. You know, other annuals go to seed. And once they go to seed, which normally happens in July, you're out of luck. You're out of blooms. You're out of pretty. It goes to seed and starts putting what it needs, the energy, into going to seed. Ours don't do that. They keep pushing out those beautiful blooms because they're sterile. So literally, my annuals in Southeast Michigan, where we have snow sometimes in November, whether they're in the ground or in a container, I still have color. I still have annuals through November. That's how strong the genetics and everything are. Proven Winner's whole mission is to make our lives easier as gardeners. Gardening is hard work. It is so hard. I have been breaking my back for months, pulling up grass, finding roots, right? All the weeding that we have to do. Proven Winners is like, oh, hey, let me make this easy on you. And they do. Queen Bubblegum, star of the show. All right, our top selling shrub for years and years and years. You guys blow me away, actually, with how many of these Incrediballs leave our greenhouses. Top selling by a landslide. Incrediball is gorgeous. Gets to be about 4 to 5 feet tall, so it's a nice high impact shrub, and basketball size blooms. Huge. Now, not the first year. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know I'm honest and transparent. It's gonna take a couple of years, right? It's establishing its roots, it's getting used to its new home, adjusting. So within a couple of years, you are going to get these massive, massive blooms that will blow your mind. And they're strong. It's a strong shrub. Nice, strong stems that hold up those massive blooms. I have noticed that in the first season, if you get a nasty storm, which we are likely to get, or there's high winds, there is going to be a little bit of flopping because it's young still. What I do is I go out, I shake the stems, try and get as much of the rain and weight off as I can, and they pop right back up. Now, I did have a little snafu, which is not the same. I'm talking about a limelight hydrangea. This is an Incrediball, panicle arborescens, but still, I had a limelight. It's about 3 or 4 years old. Well, I hacked it all the way back the year before last, because young Nikki planted it in a spot that she shouldn't have, far too close to my back porch. And so I hacked it back to regulate its growth. Then it became weak. The stems were weak as they grew last year. We had a whole week worth of storm. And they stayed flopped. So when it's young, when your first season, the first spring following your first season, give it a little bit of extra tender loving care to help it establish its roots. Another way that you can do that is to water deeply with your hydrangeas. When you first plant your hydrangeas, you want to water deeply. The consistency doesn't matter as much as it does how much water you're giving. If you're standing over that for 30 seconds, that's not a deep watering. You want to give it a good time, because when you're planted in the ground, there's a lot for that water to have to drain through, right? It's not like our potting mix that we have in our containers. Water deeply the first few weeks at least. I usually do every other day. I don't want to spoil my plants, because if there's a day that I miss, I don't want them to be too mad at me. So I usually go every other day, but I water deeply. My mom always says, man, you water. Man, you give them some good water. But it helps. And it's so I don't have to do it every single day. Because if you water deep enough, it's going to keep the soil more moist for longer. All right, questions so far?
Yeah, we got Sea Witch on Instagram said, my jazzberry ate my bubblegum.
What? I think I kind of love that. Jazzberry ate your bubblegum. Wow, I'm shocked by that. They are both vistas. They're both vigorous, but I truly am not sure I've seen anything more powerful than bubblegum. So that's and I've planted both together too. I love that for you, because I love jazzberry too.
Rosie from Facebook says, I love this color of pink. I need to try this one.
Yes, Rosie, you do. And don't think you have to go wild and crazy. Now, if you're like me and you want to, go for it. Go for it, Rosie. But up to 3 feet of space this bubble gum is going to cover. So keep that in mind as you're planting.
Angie from YouTube says, I've grown bubblegum and it is robust. Love it.
Agree, Angie. Thank you so much for your comment. I love that everyone loves Queen Bubblegum. Can't go wrong. She's a top seller for a good reason. All right. For the Incredible, I kind of went off on my rabbit trail. Sorry about that. It's what I do. So it grows about 4 to 5 feet tall. Really nice rounded habit. Stays really tidy. It's hardy in zones 3 through 8. Okay, so that's pretty cold hardy for a hydrangea going down to zone 3. And like I mentioned, big basketball sized blooms. Now, as the season progresses, you're gonna have those blooms probably mid to late June, depending upon where you're at. Well through summer. When fall hits, the weather starts to get cooler, not as much sunshine. You'll notice that the white turns to this beautiful jade green. That's when I love to use them as cut flowers. It's this beautiful jade green. So you get a nice, beautiful show all summer long, and then as the cooler weather comes in, it softens a little bit, starts to match your fall vibes. Love it. Incredible hydrangea is a top seller for a very good reason. If you have a lot of space, the most gorgeous thing is a whole hedge. Oh, when we visited Spring Meadow Color Choice, their display gardens with all of these amazing shrubs, they have this ginormous hedge. It's captivating. So if you've got space and you're looking for a way to fill it, highly recommend. If you're planting a hedge, I would give at least 4 feet in between each one of them. I know that sounds crazy. I would probably plant 2 to 3 feet, but try to give it 4 feet. It will take up that space and be gorgeous. Any questions about Incredible?
What is the difference between Incredible and Incredible Storm?
Stormproof, you know the new one. I love it. So the key difference is that the Stormproof, it's essentially that. Their Proven Winners Color Choice says that it's stormproof. So it's stronger stems, a little bit more of a dense habit. That's the best thing about Proven Winners, right? They have this top selling shrub. It's been a top selling shrub for years and years, and they're like, let's make it better. So just stronger stems, stormproof, that's the name, right? Because I was talking about when it rains and there's a lot of weight from moisture shaking it off. It's just tougher. Still those big, beautiful blooms.
I got one question from Instagram, one question from Facebook. Do they bloom on old or new wood from Instagram? And then Facebook asks, how much sun does it require?
Great questions. New wood, so you don't have to worry about sacrificing blooms. That's a beautiful thing for a girl like me who gets a bug up and decides to hack things off. So new wood, so you don't have to worry about that. Prune to your heart's desire, although these stay really nice and tidy. You really don't need to do a whole lot of pruning. You can trim up your spent blooms at the end of the year, but they'll stay nice and tidy. You want to plant them in part to full sun. I think that in the cooler climates, you can go full sun without issue. If you're in a warmer climate, it goes up to 8. Yes, it goes up. So if you're in the 8s, I would probably protect it from that harsh afternoon sun as much as possible. Get it in a place where you got the morning sun, maybe early afternoon, but that when it gets scorching hot, it's going to struggle. You'll notice, especially the first season, that you're going to have to water more and more and more as it's establishing. So part to full sun kind of depends on where you're at. Cold climates around here in Michigan, you could go full sun without issue. But you're still going to want to water when you first plant, a lot. Let it get strong roots. Good? Okay, let's talk about one of my personal favorites. I love Incredible and I love bubblegum, but lavender is one of my top favorites ever because I think, A, it's purple, and purple is my favorite color bloom, but it smells so good, you guys. It smells so, so good. I mean, it works for us when we're upset, right? How many of you rub lavender oil? Do you do those essential oils? I'm obsessed. I love them. I want to grow my own lavender and make my own oils. Wouldn't that be so fun? We could have a Proven Winners essential oil with lavender with the sweet romance. That would be so fun. I did make bedtime spray for my kids with dried lavender. So fun. But this has this beautiful silvery foliage that's season long. And the earliest blooming lavender that I found. It blooms earlier than most other varieties, and it lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts. So these gorgeous purple blooms on this gorgeous silver foliage is why it's my favorite. I planted, I think, only 2 in my cut flower garden. As soon as I turn that corner, it's behind my garage. I'll show you guys someday. We'll do a live there. But as soon as you turn that corner, you smell the lavender. And it's my favorite. It's an instant calm. I mean, beautiful, obviously, but the smell is so good. And it's deer resistant. Hello, perfect, deer resistant. Each year it's gonna come back bigger and better, as most perennials do. And it's the longevity of it is what I love. So I planted mine 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I did do a little deadheading. You don't have to, but I did because I like to use it for my bouquets in the house to make the house smell yummy, and then to dry some out. So you'll notice the blooms, they'll start to get the browning, etc. You can leave it or you can trim it up. I haven't noticed yet if doing the deadheading, if doing the trimming is going to produce more blooms. I think it's kind of doing that naturally. I guess we'll find out more after I do it this year. But man, she's a beauty. Anybody grow lavender?
Got a comment from Instagram. I'm scared to try lavender in the garden, but I love the blooms.
Why are you scared? You know what? That was a silly question. I totally get it. Lavender does seem a little intimidating. And actually, my mom and I, when we were on our Mother's Day tradition at all the different greenhouses, we were kind of looking for different lavenders and stuff. And it is intimidating because there's so many varieties, and so many varieties do so many different things. Some you have to trim all the way back, that they get one flush and they're done, you know, like the English lavender and all the different ones. And some are good for cooking, and some it's intimidating. That's why I stick to the simple. Sweet Romance. I know it's a proven winners. That's all I need to know.
And Rosie from Facebook says, I'm ordering some lavender today. I cannot wait to get them.
Yeah, I can't wait for you, Rosie. I can't wait for you. I love that. I'd love someday, I don't have the space right now, but I would love someday to have a whole row. Can you imagine walking through a path? Ooh, let's go to a lavender farm. You could do that too. I digress. All right, I think that we should give some away. Are you guys ready? You have your hands ready, your keyboards are ready, you're ready to leave a comment, you're gonna be quick, you're gonna be snappy, you're ready to win some plants. All right, so I tried to give you a really good, oh, you know what? I'll do Incredible first, because I don't think I told you the hardiness zones of the Sweet Romance. All right, so earlier I told you what zones the Incredible was hardy in. Tell me what zones Incredible is hardy in. All right, I'm watching. First comment wins an Incredible, 1 gallon Incredible. First comment that I see with the hardiness zones of the Incredible hydrangea takes 3 to 8. Anna, oh goodness, Anna, I'm gonna mispronounce your name. Nope. Anna S.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, that was the first one I saw, to be fair. Anna S. I don't know how to say your name. Anna, we're going to message you. I'll send you a Facebook message. We'll get your information. This beautiful, Incredible hydrangea is yours. Yay, that's fun. I like to give away free plants. You guys are good too. You were commenting quick. So remember, first comment I see. That's the only way to make it fair. The first one I see, okay? All right, let's do another giveaway. This time it's gonna be bubblegum. And you're not just getting one, you're getting a 4-pack. 4 of these beautiful Supertunia Vista bubblegums. I gotta think of a really good question though. How many awards has Supertunia Vista bubblegum won? How many awards has she won? Go!
Instagram says 400.
Kelly Snyder! Oh, nope, Angie. Angie's correct, 394. Kelly said 400. So close, Kelly. You were just the first comment I saw. Angie Penrose, We'll find you. We'll reach out by Facebook Messenger. Okay? We'll get your information. They were on YouTube.
So they're going to call us.
They'll have to call us. Okay. Angie, will you do me a favor and shoot us an email? helpdesk@provenwinnersdirect.com. HELPDESK@provenwinnersdirect.com.
As well as Anna.
And Anna, to make it easy, that would be helpful as well. Shoot us an email and tell us your address so that we can mail you your free plants. helpdesk@provenwinnersdirect.com. You can go on the website. It's all listed there too if you need to. And our phone number. If it's easier for you to call, give us a call. Whatever. Yay, fun. Also, I just got word. I got word from a lady named Sue, who you all would love, because we all love her. And she called and she said, you need to give another Incredible away. You ready? You ready for another question? Okay. What color in the fall, after the beautiful white blooms, what color do the beautiful white blooms transition to in the fall on the Incredible? Go. Oh my goodness. Okay, very close, Michelle. Very, very close. You guys are right. There's a very specific green. Very specific green. Keep going, keep guessing.
Pink, blue from Instagram.
Everyone's saying green, and you're not wrong, but it's a very specific green that I said. Haha, I'm being tricky today. I like it. Ah, Katie York. Jade green. Katie, great job. Katie York, you win a free Incredible hydrangea. I love it. We're laughing because Katie York is someone we know very well. All of you other people. That's all right. A win's a win. I'm here for it. Katie was paying attention. Jade green. It looks a little lime. You're right. But I said jade, so I got to hold you guys to it. Okay. I love it. Katie York. Email helpdesk@provenwinnersdirect.com and send us your address so that we can ship you this lovely, Incredible hydrangea. Yee! All right. One more. For Miss Sweet Romance Lavender. There was a quality and a characteristic that I mentioned about Sweet Romance that differentiated it from other lavenders on the market. And it was about its bloom time. Tell me the differentiating factor between the Sweet Romance lavender and how it blooms in comparison to other lavenders on the market. Sorry, it's a tricky way to word it. Okay, go. I'm watching.
I'm watching Instagram too because you can't see that. Just a heads up.
Okay. What's the difference between Sweet Romance, longer, earliest bloom time?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, early bloom time right there.
Okay, So Heart E, SOWHEARTE on Instagram. You are the winner of the Sweet Romance Lavender. So send us a DM with your address so that we can send you this free, beautiful plant. I'm so excited for you. Awesome. All right. One more giveaway. This is so fun. You guys have to keep joining the live so I can keep giving free stuff away. I love free plants. All right. Here we have our top selling, I don't know if it's won any awards. It probably hasn't. I don't think it goes to trial. Our time release fertilizer. I use this on everything. What is that slogan? Is it hot sauce? She puts that on everything. This time release fertilizer. This stuff is so good. When I'm planting in the beginning of the season, my annuals, my combos, whatever, in the ground, new perennials, new shrubs, I always throw some in the holes that I'm digging or right into the soil of my combination planters. Always start off. It gives it that nice, good boost. And then about mid-season, sometime in July, I go through and I give everything another sprinkle. Okay, so it's time release, so it's gonna last up to 3 months. It's feeding our plants for us. As a lazy gardener, that's the best news ever. And it works so good. It keeps the foliage so nice and green. Our perennials and shrubs love it. You don't have to fertilize all perennials. I want to just leave that tidbit out there. I'm trying to think if there's any that I fertilized and shouldn't have. I don't think so, but you don't have to. But I cannot recommend this enough for our shrubs, for our annuals at planting. Anything going into the ground, it just gives it that flush of nutrients to help grow the roots, help keep the foliage green, help the blooms be magnificent. And I'm going to give one away. I just don't know what question I'm going to ask. Okay, yes, I do. I said it quick, but I talk fast, so it might be tricky. Does it say it on here? No. It does. I can't show you the front. I said the wrong answer. I said every 3 months, but that's what I do. Now I have to come up with another question, but I have to tell you, this says every 6 months. I go every 3. Proven Winners made it even better for you. You only have to do it every 6 months, okay? Interesting. We learn something new every day. All right. Let's just go off the hip a little bit. I'm trying to think of something I said today, though. Goodness gracious. What is my favorite bloom color? I've said it so many times. My favorite bloom color. And go. I see one. Oh, goodness. Shoot, I lost it. Debbie L. Debbie, nope, I'm sorry, you said pink. I don't think I can scroll up. Which one did you see?
Candace.collins on YouTube.
Candace.collins on YouTube.
She's going to have to email us.
You will have to email us your address, and we will send you a free time release fertilizer. Please email us, helpdesk@provenwinnersdirect.com. HELPDESK@provenwinnersdirect.com. Yay! Free stuff. All right. So this about wraps up this week. Thanks so much for joining and watching. I'm so excited to keep giving you free stuff. We'll keep 3:30 for next week, okay? And just for a little sneak peek into what we're planning on doing, we're trying to come up with something creative. And you guys are so creative. But how many of you have used something outside of like a typical planter or pot to pot up your favorite plants? So we brought some examples here. We did a little herb tin, and we threw some little herbs in there to give you a general idea. How many of you do something different? Like I've seen cute little shoes and boots, bicycles with baskets. My grandma used to use a tire years and years and years ago. So we're going to try and feature some cute little fun things to plant some drought tolerant plants in, right? Because there's not going to be good drainage. So we can talk about some tips and tricks to use all these fun, cutesy little planters in your gardens, because it's fun to try something new and do something different and not be like everybody else. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun. Thanks for all the comments and the engagement. Can't wait to get you all your free stuff. You'll have to be sure to tell us, send us pictures, tell us how they arrive. We want to make sure that everything's good. But otherwise, we will see you next week at 3:30. Happy planting! See you later.